Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our channel. Informations are moving on. Some many months ago, Nigerians were happy, super excited over their very own taking over the position of WTO. It looks like events coming out there may not be too interesting. Okay, but then it looks as if also there are also informations also coming out that there may be an interest in the 2023 elections also coming from that section. But before we go into the newspaper to find out what it is that is happening to our very own Dr. Ngozi Okonjo Iweala, I would like you to subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button beside it. You see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Just 7 months into her 4-year tenure as the Director General at the World Trade Organization WTO, there are reports that Dr. Ngozi Okonjo Iweala is growing frustrated with the workings of the organization and has flaunted the idea of resigning if no headway can be found on critical issues. According to Bloomberg, 5 trade officials who declined to be identified reported that Okonjo Iweala has fully grasped the frustrating reality of the WTO's historical inertia and has considered quitting. The officials said that she has repeatedly told ambassadors and staff that she could easily walk away from the job and reminds them she hasn't bought any furniture for her temporary home in Geneva, which means that it's not like she has permanent stay in her. If anybody look for her trouble, she just go after her. There's no furniture yet. That means she has not moved in permanently. But let's continue with the news anyway. But in a statement to Bloomberg News on speculations that she wants to run in 2023 Nigeria's presidential election, Okonjo Iweala didn't comment about her threat to resign, but denied any interest in running for the Nigerian presidency, calling such a speculation utterly ridiculous and not true. Okay, that's good to note. She also added, "I just got here. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. It's a very exciting job, and I'm trying to have some successes here." That looks more like the Okonjo Iweala we know, the doctor we know. She's not a quitter. She's not known to be one. But let's continue anyway. Ngozi Okonjo Iweala began her tenure with a plan to score quick negotiating victories that she hoped would help reboot the dysfunctional Geneva-based trade body. Observers note that her early departure would add yet another layer of chaos to an organization suffering from existential crisis that may lead government to conclude that WTO is not a credible forum for addressing their shared challenges. Deep divisions and a lack of trust are not new for the WTO, which requires consensus agreement among all 164 members to finalize multilateral accords. This one is bigger than running a presidency. Okay, the WTO rigid negotiation or negotiating structure and this disparate interests of its diverse membership have precluded the organization from delivering anything substantial for the better part of the decade, of the past decade, which is about 10 years ago. Last year, Okonjo Iweala's predecessor, Roberto Azevedo, cited the lack of progress at the WTO as his primary reason for resigning from the organization a year before his tenure was scheduled to end. The true test of Okonjo Iweala's leadership will come later in November when she hosts the WTO's 12th ministerial conference, a gathering of the organization's highest decision-making body. To date, WTO members have failed to make significant headway on the 3 priority areas Okonjo Iweala identified for potential outcomes at the biennial meetings. These are an agreement to curb harmful fishery subsidies, a pledge to reduce trade distorting agricultural policies, and a framework to expand global trade in vaccines, therapeutics, and diagnostics. Okay, this is coming from This is coming from Akunjo Iweala's text, and this is well, quite well from a prominent. Sorry, it's coming from a prominent paper. But looking at this, Akunjo Iweala, the doctor we know, Dr. Akunjo Iweala we know, is not a quitter. I'm not saying this on her behalf. Anything can happen. If the former one, her predecessor, could throw in the towel a year before his tenure finished, why? That clearly shows the level of divergence, in the organization. 164 members thereabout, and these are member countries, not member states alone. They are not a member individual. No, it's not like you say this is just one person. Unlike Nigeria, that is one country, although with many ethnic groups. But this one is no ethnic groups anything. No. This one is people from different view, different reasoning, different organizations, different countries with different ideologies. Those who are saner, those who are undeveloped, those who are developing, those who are very developed. And now you're going to make policies. If it's not favorable to that country, it's going to counter it with every venom or every strength they got. Now, imagine making policies that is not favorable to your country, and you're sent there as a representative. You are going to slug it out with anybody making policies that is against your country, even they may be in favor of other countries. So you find out that it's going to be one place of so much agreement and disagreement. And I'm sure that when member states come to that meetings, especially for the higher decision making board that's going to hold in no distant time in November, then you can be rest assured that the best hands are coming in there. So if you're going to make a policy that is not going to encourage them or not going to favor them, they'll slug it out. They'll give you reasons why you shouldn't hold, and why their state or their country does not permit it, and this is why they make such policies, and they need this. That's why they're existing as a nation. The other country will come in and say, "Look, that's not how it should be. You should not be selfish." It's going to be one big argument, but then that's where the power, leadership skills, and power comes in. And it has to be some sort of dialogue, some sort of sacrifice for the country, for the good of all mankind, not just one country being selfish. But then the question is, why is she trying to be diplomatic? She has to also be firm. But it's good to note that she's saying, look, she's just coming in 7 months. Hey, and I don't think about, yes, at some point the frustration may come in. Hey guys are matured now. Can't we do this way? Why must it be like this? But she has had a little test of how this whole thing can be, because she's coming from a very divergent country herself, where we have multilingual, multinationals in one country called Nigeria. So she have a little taste of how to look like. But of course, this is a broader picture. Okay, so she has to bring all her arsenals and all her arts to the decks. We're going to wrap it up. Let's meet in that conversation. What's to take, or what Dr. Akunjo Iweala is going through.